Hi, it's Summer, and today I have some book recommendations for you inspired by Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is this really pretty brown stone. It has kind of a flash to it. I don't own very much Tiger's Eye. I think these are some of my only pieces, so I need to get more of it, but it's one of my favorite stones. It's really pretty. Anyway though, I have some book recommendations for you today based off of the vibes that I get from Tiger's Eye. I think that I said this in my rose quartz video. Some of these books will go in line with the actual meanings of some of these crystals, and other times it's going to be just purely based on feelings, vibes, that kind of a thing. Pretty much all of these Tiger's Eye books are feelings based. I can't really tell you why, but these books are Tiger's Eye books to me. The buzzwords that come to my mind when I think of Tiger's Eye are warm, 60s, 70s vibes, thoughtful, creative, and courage. So I have 5 books today that kind of go along with those words. This first book is the first one that came to mind when I was thinking of this video. It's In an Absent Dream by Seanan McGuire. This one is from the Wayward Children series, and I think that it's my favorite one out of the whole thing. This story follows Lundy, which is a character from the very first book in the series, and we just kind of learn about her backstory, why she is the way that she is in the first book. Her adventure and her door that she went through took her to the Goblin Market, and it is just such warm, dark, whimsical, autumn vibes. This was definitely my favorite world and setting out of all of the books in this series. This is very Alice in Wonderland-esque, where it's really whimsical and magical and kind of looks and seems like it should be happy, but there are some more sinister and kind of dark things going on as well. This is my first time reading a book set at the Goblin Market. I know that there are other books that have the same setting, so I can't really compare it to any other books, but I really liked its representation in this book and just how I could vividly see everything and how it was described. My next recommendation is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. This is one of my favorite standalone fantasy novels. This one is about a small village that is surrounded by these woods that have evil within them, so to protect the town, the village from this evil, there's this magician that lives in this tower and they call him the dragon. In exchange for his protection against the wood, the village has to give up one young woman every 10 years to go and be a servant basically to the magician. And in this book we're following the woman that is chosen. The magic and the world does kind of have that darker side to it. And I love the way that the forest and the woods are described. I loved the description of magic in this book especially. And I actually was a fan of the ending. I think that's something that a lot of people didn't like about this one, but I actually really enjoyed it. This next recommendation I don't have a physical copy of, and I need to fix that soon because it's one of my favorite books that I've read so far this year. It's The Cartographers by Pung Shepherd. This one is about a magical map that has been missing for a long time. Every copy of it has been either destroyed or stolen. It has secret society, dark academia vibes, and it was such a fun time to read. I can't explain it, but the vibes of this book are 100% Tiger's Eye. I just think of a dimly lit office in the New York Public Library. I think of old vintage maps and just kind of warm vibes. This is just a recommendation in general to read this book, no matter what kind of crystals that you like, but it's especially a Tiger's Eye book to me. Next is Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. I read this 2 years ago in October just to get myself into the Halloween spirit, and it definitely did that. The art style in this book is just really pretty, really well done. I love the colors in it. This is about 2 best friends that work together at a pumpkin patch, and this is their last year before they both go their separate ways to go to college, so they're trying to make the most of it. This is just about their adventure that night, all of the fun food they get to eat, the corn maze they go through. This is just such a warm, cozy book, and it takes place in autumn, and I kind of associate Tiger's Eye with autumn, so I feel like it's perfect. And then my last recommendation is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Tiger's Eye makes me think of velvet and worn leather and just the warm brown tones and orange and stuff of the 60s and 70s. And that's when this book takes place, so that's kind of why I chose it for this. This one is such a popular book, I don't really think I need to give a synopsis, but I will say that I'm pretty sure this book is based off of Fleetwood Mac, and I think that makes it even more of a Tiger's Eye book, in my opinion. I feel like these recommendations kind of don't make sense, and they're really random. I don't know if these are resonating with anyone or if they're making sense at all. There's obviously not very much in common between Daisy Jones and the Six and In an Absent Dream. So it's not like they're all really similar books or anything, it's just for some reason, in my mind, they are categorized in the same category as far as crystals. So I don't know, I'm just doing it for me at this point. I think it's fun. I love crystals and I love books. I love being able to kind of merge them both together. Those are all of my recommendations though. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a book that you feel fits into the Tiger's Eye category, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.